All right. What is up? How's the lighting in here? I think it's all right. Could always be better, right? It's Wednesday, 12 p.m. Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, I go live here on YouTube with a different training and topic that I think would be helpful specifically for my clients. I'm thinking of my clients, of things that I want them to know, things that I think would be helpful for them to learn on their journey. So if you're a client of mine and you're watching this, let me know in the comments. Comment down below. Let me know you're here watching, and let me know if you can hear me all right. If you're not a client of mine, welcome. Uh, like I said, I go live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and I invite you to follow along here on my YouTube channel because this is where I post videos every single week, both live videos and pre-recorded videos of things that I genuinely think can help you guys on your fitness journey to get in the best possible shape and to do it sustainably and to do it effectively and conveniently as well within your lifestyle. So if you're joining the video, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you get value from it. And I'd love for you to leave a comment down below. Let me know that you're here watching. All right. So, um, is actually kind of like a um, like an introduction to a more deeper dive video I'm releasing next week. That's pre-recorded, where I did some experiments with the MyFitnessPal meal scan feature. So in MyFitnessPal here, they have this feature. It's fairly new. It's probably a year old, so it's not like it was just released or anything, but it's a meal scan feature where basically you take a picture. See that? So that's me right there. You take a picture of your plate. Basically uses AI to estimate what the macros are of the food that you're eating on your plate right there. And it's seen as a much more convenient way to track food, especially if um, it's like I guess like a home cooked meal where you've got a number of things on your plate, or you're things on your plate that you'll have to estimate. Obviously, it's not like the barcode scan feature is just as easy, where you take a picture of the barcode and it inputs the information right into the app. Now that is one specific food or ingredient rather than a whole plate of. Go over my thoughts on that meal scan feature. Is it accurate? Is it like wildly inaccurate? Should I not be using it? And I'll give you just kind of a sneak peek into that longer video that will that where I ran some tests to see how accurate exactly is this meal scan feature, where I tested it on like three different meals. I made what did I have? I'm trying to remember. I had a meal like a salad that I took a picture of. I knew the exact macros, paired the exact macros of that salad to what the meal scan feature estimated it to be. I did the same with an egg-based meal. I made eggs with I basically made an omelet, which is a very simple, very easy to track meal. And I used the meal scan feature and compared the actual true macros to what the meal scan feature estimated it to be. And I did the same with one other meal. I think it was like cottage, and again, another very simple, straightforward meal that had a few different ingredients in it. Um, so here's what I'm telling clients, right? If you're a client of mine watching this, um, or if you're not a client and you just want to see the best results, we're not at a point yet where simply taking a picture of your plate when there's a number of different foods on the plate is going to usually give you an accurate macros reading, right? So if you have chicken, rice, vegetables, maybe some olive oil in there, maybe some cheese or so, like if you're having a meal on your plate and you're using the meal scan feature to take a picture of everything and estimate the total macros of that plate, we're not at a point yet. And this is just a fact. This is an opinion. We're not at a point yet where that feature is going to accurately track your food most of the time. Okay, we're not. uh, like as someone who tracks their food every single day, trust me, when there are ways, when there are the least amount of effort, I will use them, and I will. The easier we can make our life to be consistent with food, to track our macros, the better, right? So I will let you know, and I will keep you up to date here on my channel on the easiest possible ways to track macros accurately. Um, Unfortunately, we're not there yet. Now, the difference is um, we might get there soon, right? This whole AI stuff is progressing way more rapidly than anything else we've ever seen before. Like, and I'm talking about in months, not years, right? Like next month, I could feel differently about that, which is crazy. To say right now definitively, hey, if you're a client of mine, don't use this feature yet because it's not going to help you track too accurately. Next month, I could very well be saying something differently than that. Now, if I had to bet money, I would say it would take longer. Maybe it'll take 6 months or a year or something. But also, it's not with every single meal. Like, I'm not saying everything you ever eat, if you use the meal scan feature, it's going to be totally off. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, though, with most foods, with most meals you eat, it's going to be off. And what I saw, and I'll kind of give you a little bit of a sneak peek, but um, for example, for 2 out of the 3 meals I tested it with, it was actually pretty close with 2 of the macros. Like with the carbs and fats, it was actually pretty close and like pretty acceptable as far as like it was within like 5 grams of what the macros actually were for carbs and fats. But it was like so wildly off with the protein that it was just like it under tracked protein by like 50%. Like it estimated my plate had 15 grams of protein when it actually had like 35 or 36 grams of protein. That's a huge mistake, right? And in another meal, it was the opposite. It under tracked protein by a huge amount, by like 4 or 5 times. So there was like 30 grams of protein in the meal or something along those lines, and it estimated that there were 6 or 7 grams. Um, so again, that's a huge mistake. And yeah, so again, if you're a client of mine, it's not a feature that I would suggest you use just yet, especially because like the alternative right now really doesn't take that much time. Like tracking our macros, like I'm gonna pull up my screen time right now, how much time I spend in my Fitness Pal every day. Let's see, where do I get to screen time? General, um, screen time. How come I can't find this? All right, I'm not gonna waste your time here, but in the past, when I've looked at screen time, it's shown that my average time spent on my Fitness Pal was between 4 and 5 minutes per day. All right. So we're talking about an activity that, yes, we're trying to make quicker and more convenient. We're trying to make tracking easier and faster, but it's already not something that like it's probably the least amount of time when you look at everything you do in your fitness. It's probably the least amount of time activity spent wise. The amount of cardio you do is probably way more. Some people are doing an hour of cardio every day. Even if you do an hour of cardio every week, that's still more time than you spend tracking your food. Uh, and that's if, like, let's say you spend 10 minutes a day tracking your food. That's like an hour a week. If you're tracking 7 days a week, that's like an hour a week that you're spending tracking your food. Workouts, you're probably working out 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Some of you more than that. Like, um, meal prep, like that's way more, right? So this is an activity that will get improved and will get streamlined and will get helped with the advances in technology. But right now, if you think about it, taking a picture of what's on your plate, there's just no way that from the picture the AI or the app is gonna know, like, how it was prepared. Like, you could add 10 tablespoons of olive oil to that meal, and it would have no idea. So you'd be missing out on 200 grams worth of fat, 150 grams worth of fat that the app doesn't see. Or you could put 10 tablespoons of oil in the pan and cook with that, and it's something that doesn't show in the picture. You could put 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter in your vegetables or on your rice, and the app is probably not gonna pick that up. So you're missing out on 30 grams of fat, 40 grams of fat right there. So these are just, like, examples of foods that you're not gonna see visually, but that are very calorie dense, alright? So, unless like the way that I see getting around that is not actually through the pictures, but it's through like an AI chat bot, kind of like Chat GPT, which there's already apps that allow you to track your food this way. You can even do it in Chat GPT or some other version. But what I mean by that is you can take a picture of your plate and upload it to ChatGPT or one of these other calorie tracking apps and add a comment and basically say, "Hey, this is what's on my plate. It's chicken, it's rice, it's vegetables, and even if it's not shown in the picture, there was 2 or 3 tablespoons of oil added in. Can you calculate the macros of this plate for me?" That's a way you could possibly get around this, right? Now, I would argue that doing that, the amount of time spent of you just plugging into MyFitnessPal, okay, 6 ounces of chicken, 1 cup of rice, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, it's like the same amount of time. Like, to me, it's not a huge time-saving play. It's just a matter of your personal preference. You see what I mean? Like, to type out you're now having to talk to the AI chatbot and explain what this meal is. Like, yeah, this is chicken, this is rice, there was some oil added in, so please account for that in the macros. Like, just the nature of having to explain the oil and how it was prepared and what might be in there that isn't shown in the picture, that's already taking more time than you just plugging in each ingredient individually in MyFitnessPal in the diary, in my opinion. It'd take me less than 60 seconds to search for 6 ounces of chicken breast, 1 cup of rice, a cup of mixed vegetables, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, done. So the truth is, this is an activity. Tracking your food is an activity that doesn't take a lot of time anyway. It may be like to some degree frustrating if you're still learning how to do it. Like it, there may be a little bit of guesswork if you don't have somebody helping you. Um, But it's certainly not like a super time consuming thing. Like you're almost certainly spending more time doing cardio, working out, meal prepping, even just thinking about what you're going to eat. Like all these things are the more time consuming parts of fitness. So yeah, that's my thoughts so far about the meal scan feature. Again, like I have premium of MyFitnessPal, so I can use any feature, and I'm pretty much never using it. I'm pretty much never using the meal scan feature. Um, I am using the barcode scanner every single day, multiple times. I am using the quick add feature every single day, multiple times. The quick add feature is basically you just plug in the exact macros, uh, and I use that for my Nutri meals, the meal prep service I use. So they send me pre-cooked meals and they tell me the exact macros of it, and I have that every day for lunch. That's my automated meal. So every day for lunch, what I do is I have my meal. It's chicken parmesan, or it's a salad with chicken, or it's whatever it is they give me. And I'm just going to the quick add feature and I'm plugging in the exact macros of what it tells me. So 15 fat, 25 carbs, 47 protein, whatever it is. And in 10 seconds, I've tracked my lunch. So I use that every day. I use the barcode scanner every day. Again, like anything you eat that has a barcode, the barcode scanner in a second plugs it in. If I'm having bread, I scan the barcode. If I'm having cottage cheese, I scan the barcode. If I'm having Oikos yogurt or Greek yogurt, I scan the barcode. If I'm having a prepackaged protein shake like Fairlife or a protein bar or anything like that, I scan the barcode. If I'm having, even if you're having eggs, you can scan the barcode. There's a barcode on eggs. There's a barcode on most things, right? Um, and the things that don't have a barcode, like bananas or apples or strawberries or blueberries, these are things I just got groceries today. What I'm how I'm tracking those is I'm using the search feature. I'm going into the search bar and I'm typing in strawberries and I select, one of the top features. And what I'm doing is I'm just adjusting it to the portion that I'm having. So I always track it in grams as far as the portion size. So you're going to weigh out your strawberries, which like just stop complaining. It takes 4 seconds to like you're putting your strawberries on a plate anyway. So just put the plate on a food scale and put the strawberries on your plate until you get to, like however many you want to have 100 grams, 200 grams, 800 grams of strawberries. I type in strawberries, it pops up in like, I don't even have to type out the full word strawberries. I type in straw and strawberries comes up. All right. And then I toggle the serving size to 100 grams or 200 grams or however much I had. And in 7 seconds, literally, that's how I would track strawberries. I do the same exact thing for blueberries, for blackberries, for a banana, you can do the same exact thing. Or you can just search for a banana and take whatever default they say a banana has, right? Like 25 grams of carbs for a banana or whatever it is. That's fine. Um, so and if we're having like a home cooked meal for dinner, I'm tracking each thing separately. Like, let's not act like there's 20 things to track for a home cooked meal. Like, if you're having some sort of meat or fish with some carb source like potatoes or rice or pasta, maybe some sauce or something, like some oil maybe in there. Like, we're talking about four things, five things. You start typing potatoes and you type POT and potatoes comes up. You don't have to type the full word. Okay. And you just toggle it to the amount you're having. Or, whether you weigh it out on a food scale and you have 100 grams of potatoes or 150 grams of potatoes, or if you just want to track it as I had one full potato or two full potatoes, at least there's some measurement there. And again, that takes 10 seconds, 15 seconds to track that. Takes another 10 seconds to type in chicken breast and toggle it to, 6 ounces or 8 ounces of chicken breast. Rice, pasta, you can scan the barcode of the pasta. Olive oil. All right, I type in oil and it comes up right away and I toggle it to 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. Like a home cooked meal, like those are the harder meals to track. But again, like we're talking about maybe 4 or 5 things that you have to track in your in your home cooked meals. We're not talking about 15 things or 20 things. Like just in case it's helpful or in case you're newer to this, you don't have to track seasonings. Those don't have calories. They like if you're using salt, pepper, any type of like other seasonings, like those don't have calories usually. So there's no need to track those. Certain foods like lettuce, I don't track lettuce because like it's not really worth it to track something that's 5 calories. Like you could eat a wheelbarrow full of lettuce and it wouldn't even make a dent in your calories for the day. Or like cucumber. Like if you're adding cucumber or tomato or onion to something, they're essentially 0 calories, those foods. So, like, there are certain things that it's just like you don't really need to track it. And again, if you don't know this, if this is new, that's okay. That's part of the learning curve is learning which foods are like almost 0 calories. Cucumber is like 5 calories or 10 calories. Like, it's not really worth it to track. Lettuce is like 5 or 10 calories. It's not really worth it to track. A tomato is like it's not really like you don't really need to. You can track it if you want. If you want to add 2 carbs to your MyFitnessPal, like sure, but it's like it's not really worth it. And then on the flip side, there's things that you've heard me talk about that are very calorie dense, and we do need to track it. And not only track it, we need to be crystal clear on how much of it we're having, like olive oil, like peanut butter, like certain sauces. Um, Again, and I'm not for a second saying any of those things are unhealthy or you shouldn't have them. They're just calorie dense things, you know? Um, and we need to learn which foods are very calorie dense and which foods barely have any calories at all. So I hope that helps. But going back to the meal scan feature, again, we're not at a point where it's going to give you an accurate reading the majority of the time. Honestly, if you're a client of mine, I'd rather you use me as the meal scan feature, take a picture of what you're eating, send it to me, and I'll tell you what I think the macros are. You can do both. You can use the meal scan feature and see what it thinks, and then you can send it to me and see what I think and see what the difference is. But if you think about it, as the coach, all I care about is you seeing results. If you aren't making progress or aren't happy with how things are going, or like that's my only interest. So I'm going to recommend things to you and give you ideas and suggestions that I think are going to give you the best chance at seeing results. And if you're tracking in a way that is very inaccurate, that's not going to help you see better results. So for now, what I would say is don't rely on the meal scan feature. Again, take it from somebody who's very advanced with tracking food and been doing it for a decade now at a very high level. I'm using it 0 times per day. I'm using the meal scan feature 0 times per month, believe it or not. And the only reason I started using it was to test it so that I can make a video about it. So hope this helps. And again, the good news is it's really not all that much of a time saver compared to the alternative way to track your food. It's just not. Use the barcode scanner, use the quick add feature. Um, Use the search function, and you're going to be tracking accurately, you're going to be tracking fairly easily and conveniently. And again, if tracking your food is taking more than 10 minutes a day, I promise you're doing something not exactly right, and I encourage you to reach out for help. All right, if it's taking more than 10 minutes a day to track your food, there's something that you're not doing quite right, and I encourage you to reach out because like use me as a resource. If you're a client of mine, I'm speaking to you, right? Uh, because what you can totally do is take a picture of every single thing you eat and send it over to me, and I will tell you what the macros are. And what that does is it actually helps you learn really quickly because a lot of you guys eat similar meals and have rotation of meals and have some sort of repetition in your nutrition. Maybe you have some of the same snacks every week or some of the same meals or foods. So once you learn what the macros are of these foods and meals, it makes it literally easy as hell to track it the next time. All right. So um, yeah, so that's the good news. The more you do this stuff, the easier it gets and the quicker it gets. And the more you use me as a resource to help you with this, the easier and quicker it'll get, and the more you'll learn more rapidly. All right. So if you'd like to get weekly tips, what I do is I have an email list, which I'll put down below in the comments, with a few thousand men on there, men who are into their fitness, motivated like you guys, serious about their fitness and their health. So if you want to join that group of motivated guys who get at least one or two tips every week through my emails, make sure you join that. And I rarely, I mean, I don't email every week anyway, but I definitely try to add value when I can. But hope you found this helpful. And if there's anything you need, you can always shoot me a message and let me know. And also keep an eye out on my YouTube channel here, because next week I'll be releasing a more in-depth video talking about this and showing you the exact examples of the meal scan feature and where it was accurate and where it was not accurate in tracking certain foods. So keep an eye out for that. Subscribe to the channel so you get notified when I upload new videos every week. And have an amazing day. I will talk to you next time. Bye.